The questions we need to ask in this video are serious. Were there Precambrian precursors? Or did the Cambrian explosion happen with no biological precursors? Hi everyone, I'm Alex from Science from Somebody. And some of you have watched my season 1 video on taxonomy from the beginning of life to the end of the Precambrian era. And for that, I thank you. Some of you have asked questions being skeptical of the results of my videos. And again, I thank you. It's important to be skeptical. So it is with great pleasure that I respond to those skeptical questions. Without further ado, let's look at the fossils of the Precambrian. Darwin published The Origin of Species on November 24, 1859. And at that point in time, very little was known about what the fossil record would contain. Darwin even claimed that soft-bodied animals wouldn't leave a fossil, yet now we have them. Even the Precambrian and early Cambrian were unknown to him, with only hundreds of fossils. Now we have hundreds of thousands. In 1883, the first cellular life was found from the Precambrian. Charles Doolittle Walcott made the discovery of Cryptozoon in the Grand Canyon, followed in 1899 by Chuaria, which originally he thought was small conical shell species. It turned out to be single-celled algae, and was the first cellularly preserved Precambrian organism ever found. However, his contributions weren't done. In 1907 to 1925, he discovered the Burgess Shale, which includes the most complete samples known to science. He was the founder of Precambrian paleobiology. Later, in 1953, Stanley Tyler discovered 2-billion-year-old microbial Gunflintia in Ontario, Canada. He also discovered many others, but didn't know it due to his death 10 years later. After this, in the 1960s and current, the study of Precambrian fossils exploded. Early errors from the late 1800s and early 1900s were corrected. Just as an example, Cryptozoon were thought to be sea cabbages. Now we know they are stromatolites. I want to start with a couple that may change in the future, and then we'll move on to the more established ones. An acritarch from about 1 billion years ago holds an interesting surprise inside of it. It is a growth, one that may validate that it's the first Precambrian embryo found. Kimberella is a soft-bodied ediacaran, with thousands of fossils found. Many have been found located in microbial mats with fossilized scratch marks. This references a strong possibility of feeding process. This places Kimberella as a possible mollusk, but at the very least, a protostome.